So let's get started right away. How to make a digital product for your agency, an info product, a front end product, a low ticket product. These are all different words to describe the same thing that we're talking about because everybody says that you should get a low ticket offer, a front end offer, or whatever, including myself. I say that frequently. But what does that actually mean? It's not very helpful when they just say that, but they don't give you any instruction. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm in the funnel here. This is an example of a complete and full marketing funnel. We have our paid ads, our content, our outreach, and partnerships as a way to drive traffic. For context, if you're seeing this, you're right here in YouTube. But when we're doing paid ads, we can do a bunch of different funnels. There are webinar funnels, newsletter funnels, group funnels, and then there's paid product funnels. So I'd always recommend paid product funnels for someone who is a beginner. And that means a beginner at this, paid ads, not beginner at entire business. Like, relax. If you're a beginner at paid ads, I would always recommend a paid product funnel. And the reason for that is because it's the easiest to wrap your head around. Where these group funnels, these newsletter funnels, these webinar funnels kind of have some nuance and some specific technicalities. A paid product funnel is a lot like selling an e-commerce product, where if it costs $70, you're just trying to get them to buy it for as cheap as possible. The cash flow is immediate. If you spend $70 to get one purchase, you're going to get money back from that purchase right away. So it's a great way to start. So the other funnels, the newsletter funnel and the group funnel and the webinar funnel, would kind of like take the path of this, where they're going through a lead magnet. They are going to see a thank you page be added to an email flow, and then you try to get them to whatever funnel is your primary one. Webinar, live workshop would be the same as webinar, except live instead of pre-recorded. Newsletter, and then community, which is group. But in this case, those three all go through a lead magnet. But in this case, a paid ad funnel that does a product, a low ticket, a front end, an info, a digital, same thing, goes through here. So it doesn't go through a lead magnet, but that's how it would work. The value of this is when you're getting people to buy a paid product, presumably they have a credit card. They are willing to pay to solve their problem. You have their name, contact, email, phone number, location, etc. from their billing details. So it's a very good offer to get clients. You can't just run paid ads to, a sales call to try and buy Facebook ads for $10,000 or something. It just doesn't work. A lot of people operate their business and their paid ads as if that does work when it doesn't. But when we're doing this for our agency, we kind of got to think more like a guru selling info products than we do as a common agency owner. One of my favorite quotes is by Jay Abraham. He's a business consultant, and then it's like, what is as common as dirt in one industry can set another industry on fire if they don't know it. And this case, it's very intuitive for someone who sells info products or is a guru type person to run a front end offer and then upsell them later. But it's just not that common in a lot of other businesses like an agency. So we want to think like a guru here. It's too much to ask for them to buy something for $5 or $10 or $15 or $20,000 the first time they ever heard about us. So we got to get them in the door somehow. And an info product is a good way to do that. So that is where it goes. So the thing that I'm showing you these 4 funnels, and the thing to keep in mind or to understand is these aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. You could have multiple of these running. You could have all 4 at the same time. And in fact, that is usually a good thing, because 2 scenarios here. You just have your paid product funnel running, or you have a paid product funnel, a group funnel, a webinar funnel, and a newsletter funnel running. If someone is on your newsletter, if someone's seen your webinar, if someone is in your group, I would say it would be 10 to 20, maybe even more times more likely that they would buy your paid product than if they didn't have any of these. So like a lot of these will, if you choose to do them all, work together and make each one more effective. Like likewise, if someone buys your paid product, way more likely to join your group, way more likely to stay subscribed to your newsletter and open it. They do work together. Like it's a great like system like that. So the thing that we really have to understand, and I was not sure where I want to put this in the video, but I'm going to do this right here, is to do with these lead magnets. As I said, these four different types of ad funnels run through lead magnets where the paid product does not. And it's very important. Like this is important background information for you to know, but also because it's going to be relevant later in the video. So I'm going to say it now. So with lead magnets, you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. A lead magnet is usually like some kind of value, a checklist or a guide or a masterclass or a swipe file or a PDF. Like they give you their email address, you give them their lead magnet, and that's how you get subscribers. So let's do and I've used this example in a previous video, but let's do starting a hypothetical YouTube agency that does editing and stuff, or grows your YouTube channel, does it all. So these are the big problems or objections that have to do with YouTube. They need to know how to set up their lights and camera. How do they make good titles? How do they make good thumbnails? How do they do SEO? How do they make a good description? Is it even set up right? What do all these numbers mean? Should they post long form or short form? How do they make a script? How do they come up with video ideas? They don't like how they sound on camera. These are all very, very real objections. Like if every single one of these is not addressed, like they're not buying from you, as they're not becoming a client. So you as the expert, whatever niche or service you provide, you know how to solve all these. This is what you do. This is what you've dedicated your career to, right? But people don't. You do, other people don't. So what you need to do is create a lead magnet. Whatever format you choose is up to you. But you need to make a lead magnet to solve all of these different problems and objections. Because if you don't, like, they're not buying from you. When you solve all of these just like this, and there could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 100 objections, it doesn't matter. You need a lead magnet for all of them. When you solve all of these like this, hiring you just becomes the natural next step. Well, if he's already solved all my problems or she has already solved all my problems, might as well just hire them. And that's actually how it works in the real world. Whereas a lot of people will make one lead magnet if they make any at all. Like they'll solve the camera and lighting problem in this instance, but all of these other problems still exist. And they're not hiring you if these problems still exist. They're wondering who else can help them with it. And they're looking for someone else, probably your competitor, who will do what you should have done. So it's very important, and this is very important background information about this digital product, because you'll notice that it doesn't go through lead magnets. And that is a very important detail, because in many ways, because it's not going through these lead magnets, a lot of these objections won't be inherently solved by your paid product. So you have to offer them up as bonuses. And I will show you exactly what to do later in the video. Just drawing here so you see it. So this is what we're doing. This is where we are. This is where the other type of funnels go through, just to clarify. So if you think like a great way, because people always ask, like, what do I even do for this? Like, how do I come up with a product to sell? And that is a fair question. So if a lead magnet, solves the problem, shows them what to do, a paid product will either, like the best way to do it, the best way to think about it is the paid product will just make solving that problem faster. So in this situation, if you had a lead magnet about thumbnails, you have a digital, or let's go paid product of thumbnail templates. So instead of teaching them how to make a good thumbnail, or in addition to teaching them how to make a good thumbnail, let's say in your lead magnet, we'll just make the make making good thumbnails easier by just having a paid product full of thumbnail templates. Like that is going to be the easiest way to come up with ideas. So if you know, if let's say there's, you're an email marketing agency, your paid product could be like ChatGPT prompts or AI prompts on how to write great emails, or a swipe file of winning emails, or whatever, something like that. Or if you are, a lawyer, this is going to be a weird example, but if you're a lawyer, you could have a, $100 product where they can ask you questions, unlimited questions within 24 hours for however many months, like something like that. Not a perfect example, but I want to show you that it is possible for lots of different industries, not just an agency. So the thing that we need to do, mission critical here, is need $100 plus AOV. This is a need. So we need this because our cost per acquisition will probably be high. We need, like, if AOV equals 100 plus, we can spend $100 on, to get a customer. And hopefully it would be easier than that, but who knows, right? Like, we want to set ourselves up to be as best as we possibly can. So let's say we got a $2 cost per click and we had $100 AOV. That would kind of mean, like, just to do some math, because a lot of people, I don't know if anybody's explained the math to you before, but this is like pure arithmetic. That means we could get, like, that would mean 1 in every 50 people must buy to break even. So if you have $100 in value and $2 cost per click, that means 1 in every 50 people have to buy for you to break even, right? And 1 in 50 people means you have a 2% conversion rate. And this is a 2% conversion rate would not be out of the question. Like, that's not astronomically high. Like, a lot of these people, when they are experts at this, will get like 3, 4, 5, 6% conversion rate. So I'm not setting you up for something here that's not achievable for the average person if you consider yourself average. So, like, this is why it's so important. So if we had another scenario, and let's make this sticky note here. Well, it's not the best color red, but according to Miro board, that's red. If we had a $50 AOV and it costed us $2 per click, that would imply that 1 in every 25 people must buy to break even. And that would be a 4% conversion rate. 100 divided by 25 is 4%. A 4% conversion rate is going to be much, much more difficult. I would say that the average person who's not an expert at this would struggle with getting a 4% conversion rate. So unless we're going to get a lower cost per click, which is possible, but let's just call it $2 cost per click for now, we need to get that average order value up, or this becomes a lot harder for us. So we don't want to make it hard on ourselves, right? We want to make it as easy as we possibly can. So there's going to be different schools of thought or strategies for doing this. Like, for example, some people have a low AOV first product, then they upsell multiple products to raise AOV. So some people, like, for example, they might have, example, for like $27, and then they'll have multiple upsells. If you ever have been through one of those ClickFunnels type things that get them, order bumps, post-purchase one-time upsells, that kind of stuff. And then some people, and this is my preferred one, will just price it at 97 to begin with. And then these upsells become more like bonuses, become more like bonus extra, not super necessary. So hopefully that makes sense. There's different, like a lot of these schools, different schools of thought are valid. Like a lot of different things will work, and you'll see a lot of different things. If something doesn't work, people wouldn't do it. Like you could really extrapolate that to every part of life, like relationships, you know, fitness, whatever. And it's no different than this. Whatever you'll see, like on the internet, when you see these ads, like all of it does work. It's a matter of to what degree it works for that person. So let's get to it, because I want to build an info product, or at least like show you what you would do. And I've been doing this my entire adult life. So I've had, I don't know, let's say 50 info low ticket digital product front end offers in my life. But the one that I have done most recently to most success was at my previous agency, and it was a landing page agency. So when we're making this offer, like let's do a few things. Should be interesting to all levels of the market. And what I mean by that, well, I wouldn't say should be. Ideally, it would be. Let's go with that. So, for example, it would be as interesting to an absolute beginner as it would be to someone who's kind of intermediate, as to someone who's super advanced. It should be, inherently desirable. And that might sound like the first one, but I'm going to take it as separate here, because some people just make stuff that no one wants. Like, give the people what they want, give the people what they need, right? Ideally, $97 price, because something to keep in mind here is the lower the price, the less likely they become a client later. So if you charge $7 or something, or 27 or 17, like lots of people do, it's all right, it works. But the higher the price of the initial product, the more likely they are to become a client sometime later, in my experience. And that probably makes sense, I would say, because they're spending more money, they're showing that they have more money and willing to commit more. Like, there's a big difference between someone spending 97 and 17, in my opinion. Because 17 is, we'll just leave it at that. So it should be like super, 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 super good value. Better value equals higher conversion rate. It's not unlike anything in life, where if you're offering them something, an offer they can't refuse, so to speak, it's going to make it more effective. It's not unique to digital products. It's just everything. And the final one is going to be, you cannot be involved in the delivery. Like, no low ticket services or something like that. Like, a lot of people, in my view, when they're just starting out, they'll say like, I will just make this, but like for $97, I'll make you 5 image ads or something. No, just no. It has to be a product that's automatically delivered, that you do not have to do anything. Because trust me, once you start doing this, you can get a lot of sales per day, and you cannot be doing that anymore. So for a landing page agency, and this is an actual example that I ran for quite some time, I put about maybe, I would say, between $500,000 and $600,000 of ad spend through this, and like it was profitable over that period of time. So at least that much in sales. But in most cases, like making profit, that would be good, right? Why not? But in most cases, like you just try to break even maybe squeak out a little profit, because the main way you're going to make money through this is by selling them your services later. So what I did was I had 100 Webflow temp landing page e-commerce. Let's go Webflow e-commerce landing page templates so it doesn't sound so dumb. Page templates for $97. So let's go through this and see if, let's make it green here. So this would it be ideally, or would it be interesting to all levels of the market? I would say yes. A beginner would want that. Someone who's 2 out of 5 would want that. Someone 3 out of 5, an intermediate, would want that. Someone relatively advanced would want that. And I would say if the CEO of a 9-figure, 10-figure e-commerce brand saw this ad, like, I wouldn't put it past them to just buy it. It's $97. Why not send it to their team? Inherently desirable. Like, people need landing pages to convert because the cost of ads are rising and rising each and every year. It's becoming more and more competitive. People need landing pages to help them grow their business. $97 was my price, and that is, in my view, 100 predetermined landing page templates. And I'll show you not all 99, but these were like some of them, and these were, basically copied from other brands, if you will. Like, just hired a freelancer to, clone the pages. So super, super good value for $97. 100, you could, like, if you wanted to go on Fiverr to get someone to make you 100 landing page templates, that would cost you $10,000 at a minimum. And it did cost me $10,000. So I'm not just kind of spitting random stuff out here. I know that for a fact. And then I was not involved in the delivery. Like, these are just standard templates. When they buy, they basically get a link to where they can download it in the Webflow, like made in Webflow store, if you ever know what that is. So that was a good example. So I actually have a landing page template here, and I am going to probably not make the entire page, but I'm going to show you like what you would actually do and what are going to be the most important parts. And I kind of just ripped this page off like the Webflow template library and kind of just changed everything to lorem ipsum, so I didn't kind of dox the person's original page. So that, I'm so considerate, I know. So let's go through this. So basically, let me get that up there. Basically, the most important parts of your info product, your digital product, your low ticket, your front end page are the headline, the offer, and the above the fold. So the above the fold refers to the space or what's visible, like when someone loads the page, like when they click on your ad, what's immediately visible, like on their iPhone or whatever they use, that is the above the fold without scrolling down. And this is very important because this is like the first impression you make. Like, you know how important first impressions are in real life. This is like a digital first impression. And 2 is a lot of people won't scroll. And that sounds weird. And I would admit that the people who are eventually going to become your customers and buy this are going to scroll. But if you put a heat map, it's called, where you can see like who scrolls past, like it's called a scroll depth chart, and it'll like show you who scrolled past here, for example. Sometimes 70% of people won't scroll at all. And that's why it's important. Like, I would admit that the people who will eventually become customers are going to scroll, of course, like they can't do it without it. But we want to design the page to be appealing to as many people as possible. We don't want to have a bad attitude and be like, oh, if they're not going to scroll, they're not going to buy. Like, we want to do it as good as possible. It's called taking pride in what you do. So the headline right here, the offer, like what you're offering, the actual product, the better the offer, that would be nice, right? And then the above the fold. So let's go here. The headline should always be the main or end result that they're going to get. And then the subheadline is how they would get the result. So what my headline was when I was really running this, and I'm not running this anymore because you can only run these for so long. There's only so many people who are going to buy landing page templates. two times the rev my land 2 times the revenue for 1/10 of the work was my headline. And I think that's pretty good. If you don't think that's good, I don't know. There's no really I don't know, like that's your opinion, I guess. But this really worked well for me. I put $500 to $600,000 of spend to this page, and this was my headline for all of like the whole time. So this headline like might not make sense, or it might not seem like it's related to landing pages, like if you just glance at it. But they know it's landing pages based on the ad, right? Like they clicked on it with the understanding these are landing page templates. And then if we go back, the sub headline should be how they will get the results. So I can't remember the exact one I would do, but it was based around, we have made 100 fully editable, high converting landing page templates in Webflow. We have sales pages, listicles, advertorials, and more. Like that is, edit these in a few minutes instead of hiring a designer, developer, copywriter, and more. So like this was not exactly what it is, but 2 times the revenue for 1/10 of the work basically implies like this is going to save them time and make them more money, which are the two easiest ways to sell. This is going to make you money. It's going to save you time. Bonus points if it does both, right? And then the sub headline is how they will get the results. Like bold claim, you're going to say I'm going to make more money with less, like not like 1/10 of the work. How is that possible? So we've made 100 fully editable, like that is, I would say, a key part of here, fully editable, high converting landing page templates in Webflow. There's 3 types of landing pages in e-commerce. If you don't know, they're called sales pages, listicles, and advertorials. Sales page would be like a bundle page, like a traditional sales page. A listicle would be something like, top 5 reasons that you should buy X, Y, and Z. And then an advertorial, I don't have an example of it on the screen, but that's like those long form, like they look like blog posts. An advertisement, advertorial, combination of the words. So like this is kind of an important detail because it implies like we know what we're talking about. Edit these in a few minutes instead of hiring a designer, developer, copywriter, and more. Like I think this does a good job of describing how they are going to get the result. And then, the call to action, buy now or buy these templates. So one thing to do here is like at the top here, like product hunt, number 1 product of the day. This came with the template I downloaded from the store, but you could do like a lot of stuff. You could do a Trustpilot, like rated, 100 stars on Trustpilot or whatever. But I think something like this above the fold that implies like this is some good stuff is important. So if you're going to do it, and then I know this template has like, based on the reviews, trusted by brands like, and then you could put their logos. I always recommend, and this is not a video I would use for the landing page. I just put one of my YouTube videos in here as a placeholder. But in this video, what I would do if I was doing this and what I did is, first off, I show my face, talk. If they know your name, know what you look like, and they know what you sound like, these 3 things combined like are huge trust building, as opposed to just you're some random faceless person that they don't know if they can trust. So in my video, I would like do a little like 15-second intro. Hi, my name is Matt, like that kind of stuff. And these are my landing page templates, kind of like I'm Johnny Knoxville and this is the, in Jackass. Funny. And then I would actually go through each of the templates and show how they are editable, just like I'm doing now. And this, like, call it a video sales letter if you want, but it's kind of like a demonstration, and that's super important in my view. Then you might hear what might be a good spot, like introduce yourself, and then you might have stuff like I might put an image here, like showing them a bunch of different templates. But let's go back to this stuff. So one of the best things that I believe you can do when you're selling a digital product is show them what they will get. Because a lot of people, like, you don't want them to guess. If you show them, one, much more likely to buy, and two, much less likely to want a refund or do a chargeback. They kind of know what they're getting ahead of time. So if I, like in that example, I showed you the video, right? Like that's one way. I might like have a bunch of different templates, like images here, and then I might put some links here. Like for example, and I don't want to show you these templates too much because they're just like random brands. Like I don't want to dox them too much, but like if I just put the all of the links here, right? They can actually go and see the links and decide for themselves if they want this page. We're not playing games here. We don't need to trick anyone. Like check out the templates for yourself. Like we don't need to do anything fancy. We need to make a good offer, make a good headline, and show them what they're buying, in my opinion. And a lot of people will use hardcore sales tactics and be a bit of a guru grifter because they don't know any better. So let's just say, like, so we might put an image here, we might have a video showing them, and hey, like check out these links for yourself. And then in this kind of stuff, like objection handling or like 3 things not to do, you could ask yourself which, like, what would you rather do? Spend $10,000 in 6 months making these templates, or just buy them right now? Like that kind of stuff. Here. I'm not gonna really tell you what to write, like in each of these boxes, like because I don't know what you would write for yours, and that would just make the video like 4 hours long, right? So we always want to show them the video, the links, and the photos, in my opinion. And this part is so important because, and that's why I told you at the beginning of this thing about lead magnets versus what we're doing. Because we are, let me change the color of my thing here. Because we are going through this, we're not overcoming objections with the lead magnets in this situation like we are in this situation with the other types of funnels. We're just not doing that because we're selling a product, right? Hopefully it's obvious, but we're not doing this. So because of this, we need to kind of do this exactly. We are not overcoming objections because our ads go right to the offer instead of lead magnets. So this is an important thing. Because of this, we need to find a way to overcome these objections, or they won't end up becoming clients. And like maybe this headline would suggest, the best way to do this is to offer modified versions of the lead magnets as bonuses. This will ensure you get the same effect and therefore get clients. These bonuses will also increase conversion rate because they make the offer better. Amazing, isn't it? So we get 2 birds with 1 stone. Not only does this make sure we get clients, because essentially the bonuses will take the place of these lead magnets, but it will also, like they're bonuses, they'll make a better offer. We'll get a higher conversion rate. So what would we do? Like let's go back to where we were. So this might take a bit. So landing pages, and this is from experience here. This is not really theory at all, because these are mostly my bonuses. I prefer to do 6 bonuses. Not too much thought has been put around that, but do with that what you will, I guess. Not that much thought, but it's always worked for me. So we got to just quickly, before we start, like to make these bonuses make sense. So we need to think of our main objections or pieces that have to do with landing page. So we have site speed, we have above the fold, we have a headline, We have our hero image. We have our offer. We have our A/B testing. We have our just general copywriting, not necessarily the headline, but like the rest of the page. We have general images, like not the hero image, but the rest of the page, and we have social proof. So these are what when I was doing this back when this was my like what I was doing, I had lead magnets to solve each and every one of these problems, and I would distribute them through content, through paid ads, etc. I can't use these lead magnets in the digital product because that would just kind of be, too much. So I have to think of how I'm going to overcome these objections. Basically, like in a light version or a miniature version. So site speed, I would just mention these templates are optimized for speed. Mention these templates are optimized for mobile above the fold, because just like mentioning these two things, like for someone who is advanced or knows a bit about landing pages, that instantly adds some authority. Headline: swipe file of 150. Bonus number 1: swipe file of 150 winning headlines. There we go. That would be bonus number 1. So you can see, like, you don't have to essentially create a real bonus around each, but you got to address these. Bonus number 2: 7-part checklist to making an amazing hero image. Bonus number 3: e-commerce offer creation masterclass. I think mine was 8 parts. A/B testing. Bonus number 4: list of 25 CRO tests to try on your landing page. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization, if you don't know. Bonus number 5. What was it? It was AI copywriting prompts, but how did I word it? AI copywriting prompt sequence for sales page, listicle, and advertorial. So each type would have its own. I did not have a bonus for images, but let's just say I did. Bonus 6: master guide on how to select images for landing page. Well, let's just kind of divulging from what I actually did, but this could be better than what I originally did, right? Bonus number 7. What would we call it? Like checklist on how to, let's go 15 different ways to add social proof to your landing page cheat sheet. There we go. There we have it. So in many ways, like there's 2 parts to these. These could be like full-size lead magnets. But there's 2 parts of it. You gotta make the lead magnet or the bonus good, but you also gotta like make it sound good and desirable, because that was a lesson that I learned the hard way when I was a younger person earlier in my career, where you gotta make it sound a little bit sensational, like 100 examples of 100, or like headline guide or swipe file of 100 winning headlines. It's like an example of, you got to make it sound good as well. So these were the bonuses to replace the lead magnets. So where you'd put these bonuses, like in this page that I actually have here, is you might have like you might do 2 things. You might have an actual section, like let's just say right here, for a limited time, you will get 7 free bonuses. Damn, my keyboard. when you purchase. You could probably make it, this is kind of cringe, for a limited time. You don't need to insult people's intelligence, but let's just go with that. And then you'd have the bonuses here. And you also like might put the bonuses here. Like the first two, this would be 100 winning landing page templates. Bonus 1, and then, bonus 2, bonus 3, bonus 4, bonus 5, bonus 6, bonus 7. Like you might do something like that. Let me just replace this so I don't dox this person. So you might do something like that. So your bonuses, let's go to your guarantee and your social proof. In general, like you will get 10 times better results with a strong guarantee. No doubt about that. So this was my guarantee when I was running this. So, get these 100 landing page templates. Let's not do it in a sticky note because it's going to be kind of hard to read. It's just going to get very convoluted. So my guarantee was something I stole from someone else, not in the same industry, but or not selling the same thing, but I really liked it. I took it. That's what you got to do when you really like something. You just take it. So make the decision to buy these 100 free or 100 landing page, my God, typing today, for $97 right here, right now. You will either increase your conversion rate and lower your CPA, which is cost per acquisition in e-commerce, or anything but e-commerce, that's like the metric they use, or you will get a full refund. Both of these options are risk-free. The only thing guaranteed not to help is to do nothing. If at any point within 30 days you are not completely satisfied, just send us a message and we will refund you same day. I think that was exactly what my guarantee was. It could be worded a bit differently, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly how it was written. Make the decision to buy these landing page templates right here, right now. You'll either increase your conversion rate and lower your CPA, or you'll get a free refund. Both of these options are risk-free. The only thing guaranteed not to help you and your brand is to do nothing. If at any point within 30 days you're not completely satisfied, just send us a message and we will refund you the same day. Compare that to what is the guarantee on this template? Like 100% 14-day money-back guarantee. Like which one do you think is going to be more effective? I know it's the one I have. And I know that because I've tried both. Everything I tell you not to do in these videos, I've already done myself. Trust me. So I have a section for pricing here. So in general, the higher the price you charge, the more likely they will become a paying client someday. All digital products should be priced between $10 and $100. I prefer to price them at $97 personally. Do with this what you may. Like the lower the price of your product, the higher the conversion rate will be. If you price it at $97, the conversion rate will probably be less than if you price it at $27. But in my view, because I do this not to make profit or money, like with this product, I do it to get clients, and you're going to get more clients if you price it higher. It's kind of as simple as that. So upselling them to the main service, like that is what we are trying to do here, is it not? So I like to do a few things. One, I like to make them aware of the main service, and I'll scroll in a bit. on the landing page. And I think this page and I does a good example of this. Like you could get 90 or you could get 100 Webflow templates, or you could make you or I could make you a landing page. So basically, my landing pages are $2,500. This provides contrast because 97 is cheaper than $2,500. Price anchoring is another term for that, but it still like makes them aware that it exists, right? And because we should have at least put our face and stuff, they should hopefully remember our name and our company name, maybe. Like if they ever need this in the future, this is the first time we planted the seed, so to speak. Another example of what you could do, like if you don't want to do this, is you could do something like $107, Webflow templates plus access to my landing page community for 1 year. 1 year access, get real-time feedback, 7-day per week support. And this is a different school of thought, basically. Like, so instead of you trying to like, you would basically like give your Webflow templates here, like 97, but you would just make the value of this, you can do like 147 even, make the value of this one so much more, just like so much more valuable that they would buy this one. Just, it's kind of like a trick, Why spend 97 for 100 web or landing page templates when I could spend 107 and get a year access, real-time support, weekly live calls, and you might even like put these bonuses only here just to make it so much better. And you might say, like, you might be wondering when I say that $10 difference, but it just makes the whole idea seem more better. $97, that's what they're expecting to pay, but for $107, they can get 20 times the value. It just makes it seem so much better when you're doing this. Something I really like to do here is, give community access. Like this is an actual example of what I did, like not just making this up. So 1 year access, get real-time feedback, 7-day per week support, weekly live calls. It's better value, of course, but then you can upsell them and you have a personal relationship because they're in their community and you see them and you know them. So like that's an example of what you can do. Try to get them into a community. Add that into your offer as an upsell because it is easier to upsell them to service if you have a relationship with them. Oops. And basically, it's going to be your email flows are going to do most of the heavy lifting. Like with that being said, aggressively upsell people to your main service via email in the first 7 days and then back off a bit. Because if they're going to do it, like them purchasing this product indicate they have a landing page problem right now, right? So presumably they want to solve it right now. So you'd really aggressively market to them and try to upsell them in the first 7 days. And if that doesn't work, probably not going to do it. So then you just kind of back off and they will be on your newsletter and maybe in your group and then just convert over time. So that's how you would upsell like at least the basics onto your main service. So I've gone over a lot of this stuff. I've shown you the most important parts. Like I showed you how to like come up with the idea, like why you need to get $100 plus AOV, the different schools of thought. I've also showed you an actual example of what I used to do at a landing page agency. I don't do this anymore, so if you want to steal it and you're in it, be my guest, but I've pretty much gotten every ounce of juice, every drop of juice out of that. So this is how you make bonuses. And you need to make bonuses to replace lead magnets, because this funnel does not go through lead magnets. It goes directly there. And if you don't solve all these objections, they're not going to buy from you. So some of these objections you kind of mention, like you don't need to make a full bonus around them. You probably could, but at some point, having like 100 bonuses doesn't do anything. So keep it at like 4 to 6, maybe 9. But yeah, well, the bonuses, make sure you word them so they sound like sensational a little bit. Your headline and subheadline. Your headline is going to be the main result that they're going to get, and subheadline is going to explain how they get that result. Don't be shy. We don't need to trick anyone here. Show them videos of what they're get, links to what they're going to get, or examples, and photos of what they're going to get. We want to stack these bonuses to, like I said, take the place of lead magnets, and this is going to take the place of lead magnets and get the same effect, but it's also going to increase your conversion rate because now it's a better offer with the bonuses. Have a strongly worded guarantee. Don't do any of that lukewarm 14-day satisfaction stuff if you can help it. Pricing, the higher the price, the more likely they're going to become a paying client. And then upselling to the main service, make them aware if you can to provide that price anchoring too. I showed you earlier in the video, I changed it to a different example. Try to get them in a community as one of the bonuses or an upsell, but your email flows are going to do a lot of the heavy lifting to upsell them. Do so aggressively in the first 7 days and then back off, because if they're not going to do it the first 7 days, probably not. And then your newsletter and your group and your webinar and the rest of the pieces of the funnel, like the other stuff, will convert them over time. So I hope this was helpful. I'll be making new videos every day, so subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.